Okay, welcome. My name is Dr. Nick Dale of the University of Georgia, and today we're going to address the question, are chickens given hormones to stimulate growth? That's a very good question. Here at the university we get a lot of inquiries on exactly that point. And so we might ask why there's so much interest in this subject, what stimulates the question in the first place, and it's the belief on the part of many people that chickens grow very fast. And they couldn't achieve this rate of growth without some sort of artificial chemical stimulant. Let's first ask the question, do chickens grow fast? Yes, they certainly do. A broiler chicken grows very, very fast. Just to compare it to something we're all familiar with, human babies roughly take 3.5 months to double their birth weight. Say go from 7.5 to 15 pounds. A chicken, on the other hand, quadruples its birth weight or its hatch weight in the first week of life, from 40 to 160 grams, and the rate of growth that just keeps on going and going to a market. So yes, indeed, very fast growth is attained by today's chickens. Can they do it without hormones? Actually, most people already know or have a factual basis needed to answer that question by themselves. It's just a matter of connecting the dots. Most people are very aware of hormones in human medicine. The most obvious one, of course, is insulin, which is given to control blood sugar, given to diabetics. That is, insulin injections are given on a daily basis to these patients. The other type of hormone supplementation is in the form of birth control pills. Estrogen and progesterone pills, birth control pills, are given obviously to control pregnancy. Now, you'll notice I use two words here that are of interest. One, insulin injection, and birth control pills. Why do we have to give insulin as an injection as opposed to an insulin pill? And it's because insulin is the type of hormone that is a protein. And proteins, as we well know, are digested in the stomach, just like meat, eggs, lentils, beans, you name it. Stomach acids start the digestion process. So if you give insulin as a pill, it's destroyed in the stomach. So this would be obviously a problem. You can't put growth hormone in the feed because growth hormone is a protein hormone. So you can see the problem. So then we'd have to say, well, is there another route of administration? Can we inject growth hormone? I suppose you could, but it has to be done on a daily basis. And for those familiar with poultry production, a normal broiler house here in the United States has about 25,000 broilers, and you'd have to inject each one every day. So I think very quickly you can see that that's a rather ludicrous possibility. It just can't happen. You can't inject that many birds on a daily basis. Just out of the question. We might want to ask another question. Supposing that the hormone could be given, supposing we could get around the logistical problems that we've discussed, does it make economic sense? And here we're helped by an article, a recent article, in a medical journal by the name of Archives of Pediatric and Adolescent Medicine. And what the authors of the article did was examine the cost of giving growth hormone to children who are very short, and short not because of malnutrition or disease or having short parents. They just perhaps lacked growth hormone, and by giving growth hormone, yes indeed, they were able to improve the growth rate of these children. The question that the authors addressed, how much does it cost? And the cost is astronomical. According to the authors, the cost of increasing a child's growth by 1 inch was approximately $52,000. Now, fortunately, in the article, they give the doses, the dose needed in order to achieve any kind of growth, and they express it on a weight basis. How many milligrams of hormone is needed per kilogram of body weight? So we can easily calculate how much is needed for a chicken, knowing its average weight and knowing its lifespan. And by doing very simple calculations, we find that it would cost $144 to supplement growth hormone to a chicken during its 6-week life. Now, if you go to the supermarket, you'll find that the chicken probably sells for about $7, obviously it makes no economic sense at all. Sometimes a concern is expressed about the possibility that hormone residues are in chicken meat. And this is really rather interesting because I'm not sure how they would get there if you didn't feed them, perhaps the chicken's own hormone, but bear in mind, many molecules, hormones among them, are destroyed by heat. You'll frequently see on the side of a prescription bottle, do not store at high temperatures. I think what they mean there, don't leave the prescription in a car in the parking lot in the middle of the summer. The high temperature could destroy its activity. Well, those temperatures do not approach the 170 and 180 degrees that one would normally use to cook a chicken. The interior temperature of the chicken would be about that. It would completely destroy any residues. And as we know, chicken is always cooked very well. Chicken sushi is not on the menu. No one eats raw chicken. So I think we can get rid of that as well. So let's just review very quickly what we've discussed. I think we can wrap this up quite quickly. One, you can't jack up the octane rating of chicken feed by adding a hormone simply because the hormone would not survive the stomach acid. It's just like insulin. Growth hormone is a protein. It would have to be injected. And injecting chickens with a hormone on a daily basis, oh goodness, that would be really ridiculous. Each broiler house has about 25,000 chickens. Only here in the state of Georgia we have about 13,000 broiler houses. So if you inject each chicken every day on a yearly basis, that is about 14.5 billion injections. I think you get the idea. This is completely ludicrous. Number three, chicken basically is very cheap. The cost of a growth hormone far exceeds the value of the chicken. And finally, were any hormones to be present in the meat, they would be easily destroyed by cooking. So we're 0 for 4. It's pretty convincing. Hormones in chicken just is not an issue. Now, just for the fun of it, there's a homework assignment. The next time you're in a supermarket, what I'd like you to do is stop by the case where they have the chickens and pick up a chicken that on the label says no hormones or steroids added. Now if you look at the end of that, there will be a little asterisk, and if we see what the asterisk says, quote, federal regulations prohibit the use of hormones or steroids in poultry. So I think we can see where we're coming from on that. It would be very hard to believe that a poultry producer would risk jail time to do something which wouldn't work anyway. So I think we can forget about hormones in chickens. Good thing. It's just one less thing we have to worry about. So thank you very much.